Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. All right, look, you know what? You can react first to this. So here's my list of 10 teams.
All right, here we go.
All right. I have three tiers on this. The first tier is Purdue, Kansas, Arizona, and Houston. I think those are the top four teams in the country. I don't think it's that much of a gap between the next tier, but for me, those are the top four. Fanta, right or wrong?
Right. Purdue, Kansas, Arizona, Houston. I respect it. I think that you are correct in that tier A. I would argue for maybe a swap of Arizona or Houston. I'm not ready to crown Houston quite yet. I think they're really, really good. But if I may, I would consider, only because of Houston's scoring depth. I still have some concerns if Shed or Cryer have an off day.
Mm-hmm.
Like Houston coasted through the Charleston Classic, but if you look at the three teams that they were playing, I felt like that they didn't get a massive test. I got to be candidly honest with you. So I would swap them out and put UConn. I would potentially put UConn in tier A actually today.
Interesting. Braden Smith, guys, has been fantastic. I thought he was sensational. Really good. Like there's not high enough praise that I can give him, Fanta, for the I'm going right back to him. Sorry, Tio. We've been talking too much. There's not enough praise.
Let him go. Let him cook.
Let him Fanta cook. Braden Smith, let's go.
Braden Smith is spectacular. I mean, he is one of the best point guards in America. And he plays with a swagger. He initiates things. But to me, the biggest thing with Purdue is Lance Jones, Miles Colvin. They have more weapons for him to be able to feed it off to. And your assist count's going to go up when you're making shots, when the players you're connecting with are able to hit. But guys, he's savvy. He's all throughout Purdue's journey last year. It struck us that they were doing it with freshman guards. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't strike us that those freshmen who are now sophomores are maturing and have matured. They are so beyond their classification in school, in basketball experience, because of how much they played last season. So I love Braden Smith. I cannot wait to see him face DeJuan Harris in the Maui, hopefully in the Maui championship game. But I can't wait to see him first play Zakai Ziegler and Santiago Vescovi, because I'm just fascinated to see Tennessee's ball pressure against that. What was Purdue's biggest obstacle, fellas, as the season went on last year? Their guards really struggled with pressure. Great updated test for Smith and the Boilers. But guys, if Purdue wins the Maui Invitational, it will be because of Braden Smith. Zach Edey is a given. He's a given. Sorry, Zach. You're the best player in the country. So unfairly, we're taking your production for granted a little bit. Braden Smith is the straw that stirs that drink.
Mm-hmm. Tio, anything to add?
I thought it was really telling that Painter didn't go too much into his playbook. I think he's trying to let his guys figure it out a little bit. And they ended up beating Gonzaga by 10. If they don't have about what they have, memory serves me, it was 12 or 13 turnovers. I think it was 13.
Yep.
If 6 or 7 of those were live ball, bonehead, what the hells? Like dribbling off your foot, faking a pass, ball slips out of your hands, stupid pass here, like turnover that leads to a layup. Like
you just named everything Fletcher Lawyer did in the game, basically.
Yeah, Fletcher Lawyer wasn't good last night. Late last night. He was past his bedtime. Poor Fletcher. No, but if they don't do that, they win by 25 points against a Gonzaga team that's not a typical Gonzaga team compared to what we've become accustomed to over X amount of years. But really good. I am intrigued to see them play Tennessee because of that pressure that Fanta alluded to. And not only that, they can throw different bodies at Braden. I don't know Zakai Ziegler's status. Is he going to be back for this one, or are they going to hold him out this entire thing.
No, he played yesterday, but he's coming off the bench now.
But not much, right? It was a limited amount.
Yeah, it was like 18. He's not back to. He's healthy. He's just not back to where. I mean, I think he got cleared in like mid-October. So
right, he wants to play more, but he's on a minute. That's right. It's on a minute restriction. I was watching that game while driving, so you guys tell me if that's safe. But
it is not safe.
No, he played what 22 minutes yesterday, and he had 6 turnovers. He's not there yet, but if you had a full strength Zakai Ziegler, then that would scare me a little bit if I was Purdue, because that guy can get underneath even Braden Smith, and then you can also throw a bigger body at him and a Jordan Gainey, or if you decide to switch all the way through with Jemima Shack. Like this is a huge litmus test game for Purdue. Huge litmus test game.
All right, so that's a perfect segue, because my second tier of teams, which like honestly, like you could probably turn this into just a tier of 8, but the next group that I have is Creighton, Tennessee, Marquette, and UConn in that next group. Is there anyone in that group that you do not think can win a national title?
I think all those teams could win it. I mean, I have concerns with Tennessee offensively if Connect has a bad day. But because of Connect, Tennessee can win it. He unlocks a different dimension of that team offensively. I saw on Twitter
Jordan Gainey too.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Gainey too. But I saw somebody, and to your point, I saw a couple people tweet yesterday, like Jordan Gainey and Dalton Connect are not what we've seen on Tennessee in years past. And they meant it in a slightly like, hey, these guys, like they've been on other teams. But Rick is kind of letting his offense loose. And I like that. It's not as scripted football. It's more natural ball movement and find the shooters. And Connect is, without Dalton Connect, yesterday, guys, at the half, Tennessee was going to be in a tough spot. Like, Syracuse outplayed them in that first half.
Surprise team, too, by the way. I thought about putting them as a surprise team.
Yeah, I got buried for that last night at the Garden. They're like, what was impressive about Impress Row, our friends? We're like, what was impressive about them? I go, guys, they're like, they lost by 17. I'm like, guys, it was a 5-point game with 4 minutes to go.
That's 100% Jeff Borzello. There's no doubt about it in my mind. What was impressive about a 17-point loss?
He buried me.
100% Borzello.
He goes, you're telling me I have to be impressed. He goes, you don't tell me how to be impressed. Then he called me a very bad name.
That's very Borzello.
That is the most Borzello thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, all you had to say was, you're impressed by a 17-point loss. That is like, Borzello said that more times than not, because he doesn't watch games. He looks at box scores. Oh shit!
So that tier's good though. I can't wait. There's a game that I have circled on the calendar, December 16th. Creighton hosting Alabama.
If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD200 and you will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly when placing your first wager of at least $10 with BetMGM. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD200. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game regardless of sport. You will receive $200 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Just make sure that you use the bonus code FIELD200 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today. That day, by the way, might be
the Aaron Estrada, Trey Alexander game.
That might be the best day of games that we get this entire season. Let me roll through to put this into context. Clemson plays at Memphis, and that's not a top 5 game of the day. We have Arizona against Purdue in Indianapolis. You have Alabama at Creighton. You have Kentucky and North Carolina playing in Atlanta in the CBS Sports Invitational. You have Baylor playing Michigan State in Detroit. You have Texas A&M playing Houston at the Toyota Center in Houston. You have UCLA playing Ohio State in the other CBS Sports Classic game. That is ridiculous. And you know what I haven't even mentioned yet? Kansas plays at Indiana that day. That is the best day of basketball we're going to get all season long. Like, that is up there with anything else that you're going to get during the regular season.
Don't forget Sixers at Hornets. Sixers at Hornets also on the 16th.
Yeah, you get to see my boy Tyrese Maxey lighting people up.
Yeah.
Fordham and St. John's at MSG FS1 3:30 Eastern time that Saturday. No, that day is unbelievable. The one of the sweet spots in college hoops is the 3 Saturdays of December before Christmas, the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th. There are great matchups.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this much, going back to Creighton for a moment, play this game with me for 30 seconds. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, they play Loyola Chicago. You think they'll win that game? Just play the game.
Yes.
So on Thanksgiving, they're going to play Boston College or Colorado State. Think they'll win that game?
They should.
Okay. They're going to be at Oklahoma State. You think they win that game?
They should.
December 3rd at Nebraska. Trap. Nebraska's better. Nebraska's better. Nebraska could be unbeaten going into that game. They play a soft schedule the next 2 games. That could be a battle of unbeatens in Lincoln. But if Creighton were to find a way to win that game, they then play Central Michigan, UNLV. Their last non-conference game is December 16th, that nationally broadcast game at home against Alabama. My point, it's not out of the question that Creighton could be undefeated going into a massive home game with Alabama to close out their non-conference. Then their stretch, listen to this stretch in December. Alabama home, Villanova, December 30th. It's a CBS game at Marquette. How much fun is that going to be to end the year? Creighton at Marquette, December 30th. That last Saturday of the year when you're kind of cuddled up on the couch, you got a glass of something, and you're just going to watch those 2 teams play offense. Are you kidding? Watch out. Creighton could go unbeaten in non-conference play. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, they very well could. All right, the last 2 teams I have on my list that can win a national title are Kentucky and Baylor. Are those 2 things crazy? I think Kentucky has the highest upside of any team not in the top 8 if they put it all together. There's no guarantee they're going to put it all together. And I'm saying that after they got taken to overtime at home by St. Joe's. I know what I'm saying to you. You don't have to give me that look. I know what I'm saying. But if Kentucky puts it all together, I don't know how many teams have as much firepower as they do on that end.
Go ahead, John.
I just don't see it. I don't, not for a title. Not for a national championship. For them, they need to get to the second weekend. And then anything could happen in the tournament. But they got to get to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. This team's too talented for that. But the problem is,
it's so funny that we're talking about Kentucky in those terms again. Like, normally that's what you say about like someone that hasn't proven it. John Calipari went to like 4 Final Fours in 5 years. And now we're like, you got to get out of the first weekend, man. Like, we can't even talk about you as a threat until you get out of the first weekend.
I'm sorry. I'll trade you. Can I trade? Can I make a trade?
Yeah.
I'm going to make 2 trades. So I disagree with your last tier. I actually like Baylor a lot. But to be contrarian, I'll trade you Baylor and Kentucky for Miami, and I'm still bullish on Arkansas.
I don't hate the Miami one. I get Arkansas. I don't know.
You hate it.
I don't hate it. I just think that it's going to be one of those things where they end up getting like a 7 seed again this year. So it's just going to be a very, very difficult road.
Power rank the SEC for me.
There's like 7 teams at the top that are all awesome.
Amazing.
Like
hardly the power rank.
Yeah. I would say Tennessee is the best. I would say Alabama is right there after them. And then you can give me Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and probably Arkansas in any order. And I don't think I would argue with too much of it.
Wow. That's incredible. That league is really good. That league has a chance to be competing for the top conference. A chance. There's no question about it. It's 2. Clear 2.
Yep. They need Missouri.
No mention of Chris Beard down at Ole Miss.
He's not going to get the guys eligible. Like if you could guarantee that he would have Musa Cisse and the who's the kid that transferred from Georgetown? Why am I blanking on his name? Brandon Murray.
Harris. No.
Brandon Murray. Like if you guarantee that they get Brandon Murray and Musa Cisse, then I'm all the way in. But like I just don't think they quite have enough without those two guys. We'll see though.
Hey,
all right.
Quick shout out to South Carolina. They're 5-0 and improved.
Yes, They are very, very much better. T.O., do you have anyone else? Do you want to do a fan of swap there? You want to do a fan of trade for the last two spots on who can win a national title?
I agree with the upside of Kentucky. I don't winning a national championship is
suck it, Vanna.
Winning a national championship is a bit of a stretch. It is possible they make a Final Four because of the irrational confidence and offensive explosiveness of Reed Sheppard and Dillingham. And I feel like DJ Wagner's going to piece it together around mid-December.
Yeah, he was really good last night against St. Joe's, especially in the second half.
It's going to be fine. Like their offensive firepower, the Dillingham Reed Sheppard's finally getting his due. Nobody talked about him. We were talking about all the other guys. Reed Sheppard's a dude. He is a dude, and like the offensive firepower is there. A national championship might be tough, but this is a group that if they start picking it up and playing full of confidence and bravado around March, like watch out.
All right. So to take us home here on this episode of the DTF podcast, make sure you rate, make sure you review, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy this and you want to support us, it's free content. All you got to do is just engage, rate, review, subscribe, comment, do all of that good stuff. Fanta, Sunday afternoon, something happened. Something happened in the city of Cleveland. Something happened on the football field. I want you to take us home, take us away. And if you happen to mention a certain coach that happens to reside in the city of Cincinnati and remind them about what happened there, I don't think that I'd hate it. Take us home, baby. How about them Brownies?
How about the Cleveland Browns? 7-3 for the second time in the Kevin Stefanski era. Terrence, I know you want to talk about him. I know you're a member of the Dog Pound deep down inside.
Deep down.
So for the next 12 minutes, I'm going to talk about him. No, I'm just kidding. They are a tough, hard-nosed, physical football team. Yes, I was watching them on Sunday in the Madison Square Garden press room. Yes, I did get stuck watching them as Louisville gave Texas a great game. So close for Kenny Payne. By the way, I didn't take your "you got tricked" comment that seriously. Coach Payne, I respect your team's efforts at the Garden. Keep that up, and maybe things will go in a better direction.
They played their nuts off there, man. They played their nuts off.
Credit to those kids. They did. Now they got to sustain that.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Browns are back. Like they are back. They are 7-3. They're doing this with a rookie quarterback, but guys, they fight every game. They're in every game. I'm in it, man. We are a half game out of the number one spot in the AFC. Thank you, Philadelphia Eagles, because the Chiefs took a third loss. The Cleveland Browns have the same amount of losses as the Chiefs, the Ravens, all those teams. And they do it with defense. Myles Garrett's the best player on the football field. They just got to keep grinding it out. But I like this team. I love this team. And I love that they sent Sean Miller's Pittsburgh Steelers back to Pittsburgh, taking those terrible towels and shoving them up you know where. I hate those yellow towels. I hate the hoo. A happy Thanksgiving to all you Browns fans. A happy Thanksgiving to all you college basketball fans. Here's to hoping that you have a second or third helping of stuffing and enjoy all of the college basketball that you're about to see. Let's see who's right. Let's see who's wrong about all these teams. And I can't wait till we talk about it next week, guys, and buy your significant others something really nice on Black Friday.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.